Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Today I'm going to go over how to draw a dragon. And there's basically two. You can divide dragons into two. I do. I mean, some people divide them into three. Some people divide them into the eastern, western, the wyvern. I think the wyvern and the eastern are pretty, and I think the western are pretty close. So I like to group those together. The western would be the medieval type dragon, you know. The wyvern, I believe. I forget how you pronounce it. Wyvern, I don't know. Anyways, this one where it has the doesn't have four legs. You know, the dragon has more of the wings are connected to the arms, kind of like a bat. And then the Eastern is the Asian dragon, where it more of a snake-like kind of snake serpent look to it. Right now, I'm going to be drawing just the head of more of a kind of a European, Western dragon. Man, I'm just gonna kind of go walk through it. I'm gonna draw a bunch of different ones. There's really no right answer on how to draw a dragon, so I'm gonna just go over what I do, and I'm gonna be kind of making this up on the spot, and you can come along this journey with me. So I'm gonna start out with a box because I want to think of the head as a box first for this creature, for this dragon. I'm drawing in pen, by the way, so I'm drawing really light. I'm not even sure if this can come on camera, but I'm drawing really light box just for my own placement. Dividing the box, trying to find the side plane of the head of the skull area. Excuse me. Whew. Sorry, it's late at night. I'm gonna put some placement for the horns back here. I'm gonna choose to put some horns. And off the zygomatic arch, I'm gonna put a kind of a fin over here on the side. I think it looks kind of cool. Zygomatic arch is the cheekbone, by the way. I draw a little bit of zygomatic arch. It's gonna come forward. The placement of the eye on the side of the head. Still playing around with that eye shape. Kind of looks like a car. Being really light still. I hope you can kind of see this on camera. Hopefully you're not just sitting there totally wondering what the hell's going on. But kind of the snout area. Finding the three-dimensional form of the front, kind of the front plane of the head, of the snout. Mouth is really going to be closed, and looks a little bit like the Asian dragon right now. I'm going to try to kind of pull away from that. Asian dragon has more curled horns anyway. Putting division to its head, and the brow line over here. So, I got a really light kind of placement to everything I'm about to go into. So, now, I did that with pen. And by the way, I'm using a Zebra F307 ballpoint pen, if anybody cares. Does it matter? Not really. It has a very thin tip though. So I will say that it's pretty cool. I like it. Doesn't mean you have to like it. I'm gonna start into the eye. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to, sound snippy there. Doesn't mean you have to use it. You can use anything you want. The eye, I'm gonna give kind of an evil eye. Take the old knowledge you have of drawing eyeballs and kind of use it. It's just very similar to human eye, except it's gonna be the side of the head. The eye. I'm gonna give him kind of a snake pupil. It's like a V. Just put a V there, and you shade that in. Imagine a V. Imagine a V drawn onto like a ball, volleyball. I gotta remember. I gotta keep that form there. The eyeball's a rounded form inside the skull. Draw on the lower lid, lower eyelid. Very distinct feature. Now I'm going to go down to the cheekbone area, the zygomatic arch. Head kind of reminds me of a kind of a monitor lizard or Komodo dragon, or even in some cases a dog has an elongated skull. So if you know those skulls pretty well, it's very similar. If you don't, then that's okay. I don't know them very well either. We're just kind of recalling it from memory. Kind of handling the brow there a little bit. The brow's going to be pretty big. It's also going to change planes as it turns. So I'm going to try to make that come off with maybe some of the little scratch shading that I'm doing here. This isn't really shading. It's just little indications to kind of show you which direction the form is starting to turn. Little tick marks. More of a stylistic thing, really. That I do a lot. I'm not sure why I do it so much. I just do it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do it just to. I do it really to kind of again kind of create the illusion that you are shading it, but you don't really have to. On the front of the snout, be really careful with this curve. Kind of a more rounded front would give him a more cartoony look. So I'm being really careful how I make that line. You have a really hard time on the snout of the dragon. Nostril. Where would the nostril be? The nostril is essentially triangle. It's got its own kind of, hood. I mean, well, the nostril itself. All right. I'm gonna put his teeth coming out from the bottom. Kind of show that he's got them. The far side of his head, gonna show that he's got that brow. I'm gonna mirror it over there. Going back to the teeth really quick. Flattening out the top of the head there. Back to the eye as I go down. Going down to the masseter. masseter's underneath here. Extending the ridge from the eye, extending it kind of down to the nostril to kind of join it up. Like it's turning here. Let's see. Going back to the horn. Finding the other horn. I guess I kind of abandoned that fin. I'm sorry. Actually, I still put it in there. I just totally forgot about it, honestly. Okay, you know, I'm going to put it in there. It's going to be rough, but I'm putting it in. Almost like webbing. And coming out the back of the masseter there. There's really no right answer. I'm just kind of doing this on a whim, and there's been different versions of these kinds of dragons. That's what's kind of cool about drawing a character that doesn't really exist, is that, especially a character like, well, it's not just that, it's also a character that's been drawn in so many different ways, a type of character, you know? There's so many different kinds of dragons. But I'm just trying to go with the very general definition of that. Mirror that fin over there, the opposite side. Neck. Let's see that on screen. Let me see. Neck has to be a little bigger. Spikes coming out the back of it. Kind of counter shading down here that he has. On the lower neck. These ridges. Oops. Right. Now I'm going to go over shading a little bit and maybe repair a couple of things. I'm going to slightly shade this edge to make it look a little more like it's... So, basically I made a huge mistake, and I'll try to correct it right now. this line right here could probably go away with shading, but actually, I'll leave it there. Can't really do anything about it actually right now. I can get rid of that with shading, but I'm not really going to shade this version. So back into the eye a little bit. I'm going to start drawing scales. For this scales, I'm going to kind of use more of a circular pattern that like kind of circles bunching up, almost like a bubble wrap. I'm gonna put the smaller ones next to the eye, and they're gonna get a little tiny bit larger as they go out. I might time lapse this part. At this point, I'm thinking, what did I get myself into? They don't have to be exact. You just have to kind of merge together to form, kind of a texture, at least at first glance. Anyways, that took a bit. It's just loose, kind of semicircles and circles to kind of show a texture overall. And you can go a lot further than that, but I'm going to leave it as is right now. There's a kind of a first dragon head, and I'm going to do a few more after this, so that's just a dragon sketch. Alright guys, thanks a lot, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. It really helps when you do that, and I appreciate you guys, sitting through. Thank you. All the way up his body over here. There's a giant cranial mass. Putting on his fin. The moray eel. Split there. Following his fin down his body. Coming along. Going along the outside, following that. And going back up here, the fin apparently attaches kind of way down. Putting in his jaw a little bit there. Sometimes they look kind of like weird old men if you see them in the zoo or some kind of water park, animal park. They're kind of like old people. They have like these weird old person mouths. Some kind of strange network down here. And let me erase it, and that'll be it for the electric eel. One of the big pinpoints, though, that separates... A couple of things that separates the eel when you draw it from, like, a snake.